The story I would like to share with y'all right now is called Fresh Meat. It's by PA Nightmares. I'll have a link to his YouTube channel in the description below. So if y'all want to, you can go ahead and check out his channel as well. What this story is about, it's about a truck driver and a hitchhiker. And it gets really crazy really quick. So if y'all like this story, check out his channel and keep your heads up for some more from me. Thank you. In West Virginia, there's nothing for miles. As a trucker, it can be pretty lonely traveling alone. So when the chance for some company came along, I didn't hesitate. After days of traveling with no interaction other than some very disinterested and not very talkative truckers, I came across a lovely hitchhiker on a cold, rainy night. She seemed too young to be homeless, and it broke my heart. So I took pity on her and allowed her into the cab of my truck. We're not permitted to pick up hitchhikers, but I said to hell with it. I was in real need of some human interaction, and I couldn't just leave her out there. Pulling the truck over, the young girl opens the door and gets in. Like, oh my God, thank you so much for pulling over and giving me a ride. I've been walking for days, and no one seems to pick up hitchhikers anymore. I totally blame the movies. Like, look at me. What can I do to someone? I'm so tired and haven't had a proper meal in days. So it's nice to at least be in a warm, dry place and out in the cold rain. No worries, little lady. May I ask how old you are? You seem far too young to be homeless. Like, I'm 18. Right after graduation, my parents kicked me out of the house, and I have no one I can go to. So here I am, homeless, and in the cab with some old guy who, for all I know, wants to kill me or do some very scary things to me. Whoa, little lady. I just stopped to help. No one forced you in the cab of my truck. If you want out, you can just leave now. I just saw that you needed some help, and being that my mama raised me right, I stopped to assist you. Ashamed, the hitchhiker looks at the floor of the truck and quietly says, "My name is Allie. I'm sorry if I offended you." Allie continues, "I'm very grateful for the ride, but do you by any chance have anything to eat? Like I said, it's been days since I've last had a real meal." trucker eyed her, then breaks out into a big smile. Well, Allie, it's nice to meet you. No need to be ashamed. I get it. Nowadays you can't just go around trusting strangers. Now can you? I'm Dave. And yes, of course, I have some food I can make for you in the back of my truck at the next truck stop. Oh, that sounds amazing. Thank you so much. How long is it until we get to the next truck stop? Will not be for another couple hours. I have a lot more driving to do before we reach the truck stop. If you need something to hold you over, in my lunchbox is a bottle of water and a granola bar. Help yourself to them. Looking at Dave, still not fully trusting him, she decides not to take him up on his offer just yet. Instead, she continues to talk to him. So Dave, you got a wife or kids? Actually, yes. Me and the missus just celebrated 40 years together. And as for the kids, none that live at home with us. They've all grown up and out of the house. Never been quite the same without them, if you know what I mean. That's nice. I really want kids. But I gotta figure this homeless problem out first, before I can even dream of having a future with someone. What are the names of your wife and kids? My wife's name is Teresa, and my boys are Alex and little Jack. They are my world, and I would do anything for them. Even work this crappy third shift trucker job. The pay isn't bad, nor is the job. But the hours were killer when the kids were growing up. I missed a lot of important moments, and don't get to spend much time with the wife either. If you open the glove box, my wallet is there, and you can see pictures of my beautiful family. Allie opens the glove box and gets Dave's wallet out. As soon as she opens it, she sees many photos of his beautiful wife and amazing children. Allie can't help herself. She says, "One day I hope to have a family just like yours." Dave and Allie spent the next few hours just laughing and exchanging stories. As Allie grew more comfortable and started to trust Dave, she asked, "Is the offer for the water still good? I'm very thirsty." help yourself to whatever you want. We should be getting to the truck stop soon, so you can get some real food in your system. Thank God, I'm starving. I would literally eat anything at this point. Oh, is that a truck stop there? Oh, well, look at that. We're closer than I thought. All right. Looks like it's chow time. Well, let me get the truck pulled into a parking space and do my books. Then we'll eat. Sound good to you? Hell yeah. That sounds amazing. You've been such good company, and I've enjoyed our talk. Me too. It's been so long since I've had a great conversation like this. It really has been a pleasure to get to know you. Well now, if you want, we can go in the back and have a bite to eat. That sounds fantastic. Are we going to go in the truck stop to eat? Allie thinking to herself. I've gotten to know him a little better, and he seems nice enough. But do I trust him enough to take food that he offers me? No need to go in unless you need to use the restroom. My wife always packs a large amount of food, and I got a hot plate to warm it up. I mean, just look at that place. I wouldn't trust anything comes out of that shithole. Today, my old lady packed a nice roast with some potatoes and mixed veggies. Now, tell me, how's that sound? Yum. It's been so long since I've had home cooking. The excitement was clear on her face, and her apprehension and doubt completely vanished. After Dave had finished his books, he exclaimed, "Ah, okay, well, how about that food now?" She got up right after Dave did and followed him to the back of the truck. There's not a lot of room back here, but I do have a pull-out tray table that you can use. Getting to work, he turned on the hot plate and warmed it up. Grabbing a small skillet, he went to work warming up the food that had been packed for dinner. By the time Dave was finished warming everything up, the truck smelled wonderful. Dave sat down Allie's plate on the tray table and sat down in the driver's seat. As they ate, Allie noticed this didn't taste or look like beef, but Jess figured maybe it was a pork roast instead. The conversation flowed easily, and she enjoyed her meal. After all was said and done, she was stuffed. After standing up, she turned around and stopped as Dave spoke. Well, now that you've helped me empty the last of my old stock, looks like I will need to replenish it, now won't I? Allie slowly turned to ask him what he meant, but before she could ask the question, something hit her hard, and her world was enveloped in darkness. Waking up, she had a hard time focusing on her surroundings. She thought she might have a concussion. Minutes later, she was finally able to focus on her environment, only to realize she was upside down in a meat freezer, and her feet were bound by a chain strung up on a meat hook, while her wrists were tied firmly by a rope secured to a concrete slab on the floor. The longer she was conscious, the more she struggled. She felt the blood rushing to her head. It sounded like her heart was in her ears. While attempting to scream, she realized she was unable to properly breathe, and this caused the blood to rush to her head and almost made her black out several times. The door slowly opens, and Allie once again attempts to scream for help, only to realize the person who stepped into the freezer was Dave. Well now, look who's awake. Now, little lady, there's no need to try and scream. It'll only cause you more pain and stress. No one likes bitter meat. Allie responds in a rough whisper. Why are you doing this? Please let me go. Dave laughs harshly. We both know, my dear, that won't be happening. Even if I was inclined to do so, you would just run to the cops, and we can't have that now, can we? Allie begins to cry. Please, Dave, what would your family think? Just let me go. I promise I won't tell anyone. Why are you doing this to me? You treated me so well. I'd be willing to help you lure more people here if you spare me. Please. Dave bends down. I don't think that is in the cards for you, little lady. And after all, you really enjoyed that roast, didn't you? Well, let me tell you what that was. That was the last feller I gave a ride to. You enjoyed them. Only fair you take your place. And as for my family, you actually think them pictures were my kin? It's all an act. This here is my family. We built this truck stop. We've been living in these parts for ages. This is a family tradition. when our young come of age and our pa takes us out on a hunting trip to bag us a long pig. Right after Dave has finished speaking, Allie sees a shadow come up from behind her, and Dave speaks again. And you're in luck, little lady. My boy just come of age, and is going to bag his first kill. Allie feels a tug on the back of her head, and a cold steel blade is brought across her throat. She feels a brief pain and hears the gurgling of her windpipe as she fades into the dark void of emptiness. I would also like to start thanking my supporters. So far, we've got Penny Tails up on Patreon as a supporter, and I appreciate your support very much. Thank you.